first video homework lesson. You are going to be looking at describing energy and its uses. Please make sure you write down the WOT, look in the WILF and see if you can find 3 key words. By the end of today's session, you must be able to describe uses of different forms of energy. You should be able to describe different uses of energy stores, and you could describe how the different forms of energy can be stored. What is energy? Have you ever thought about this and thought about what energy is? Energy makes changes. It does things for us. It moves cars along the roads and boats over the water. It bakes a cake in the oven and keeps ice frozen in the freezer. It plays our favourite songs on the radio and lights up our home. Energy makes our bodies grow and allows our mind to think. However, science says something different about energy. Science says it has the ability to do work. That's not the work that you're thinking of where you sit there and you do your homework or you sit there and do work in school. Work is a term that is used by scientists. So what are the different forms of energy? Well, let's have a look. We have light energy. That's anything that gives out light. We have chemical energy. That's anything that we eat, the Bunsen burners, batteries, anything that contains chemicals. Gravitational is anything that can fall, for example a plane. Elastic is anything that can be stretched, a bow and arrow, an elastic band being flicked. Nuclear, that's anything that we would find in a nuclear power plant that uses nuclear energy. Heat, anything that gives out heat, or thermal energy as we will later come to call it. Electrical, anything that plugs into the wall. Sound, anything that gives out sound. And lastly, kinetic, that is anything that moves. You need to know these different types of energies. This is to help you learn those different types of energies. If you need, pause it so you have time to read them all. I'm going to just highlight a few of them. Remember we talked about heat? Well, now it's called thermal. You need to know it as thermal for your exam. If the equipment is warm or gives out heat, then it is always known as thermal. Elastic and gravitational quite often have this word potential before them because it has the potential to fall or has the potential to stretch. Pause this if you wish to look at it for longer. So these different types of energies can be either stored or they're used. Chemical, gravitational and nuclear are all stored energies, whereas used energies are kinetic, electrical, sound, light and heat. They're the ones that we're actually using. These are the different forms of energy again. Look over them and make sure you remember them. Now I'm going to show you a video. As you watch this video, I want you to see if you can work out the different types of energy that are being used. So here's the video. Watch it carefully. Okay, so let's watch that again and see if we can work out what energy is being given off. Let's start at the beginning. Elastic potential. When you let go, the elastic energy caused the bow to move, making it kinetic energy. As the arrow flies through the air, using its kinetic energy, it also has gravitational potential energy until it hits the watermelon, in which case it now has kinetic energy. As you can see, it's now exploding everywhere. So back to our PowerPoint. Let's have a look at what we should have learnt. You must be able to describe the uses of different forms of energy. You should describe the uses of energy stores, and you could describe how different forms of energy can be stored. Make sure you've written down the WOT and you find 3 keywords, and we'll see you next lesson.